Hi. The other evening we were out with the camera club taking some evening shots. We were hoping to get shots, images of the golden hour, but the light actually on that evening was not that conducive. So we had an evening using filters, different types of filters. Now my kit is Nikon. It's a D5600 and the particular lens I'm using at the moment is my Nikon 70 to 300 millimeters. Brilliant lens for quite a lot of different things, landscape, wildlife particularly. This particular evening we were down on the banks of the River Tweed, which is close to us, and I had my usual setup here. And the first filter I had on was my Polarising filter, which I have here, and the particular one I use is K&F Concept. If you want to know more about the particular lens, the particular filter, link is in the comments below to find out more information. It's pretty standard, and it just, for me, it's ideal because it just screws on to the lens. This particular one is a 67 millimeter, and there we go. Lovely. And there, I always use a lens hood as well, just to make sure that I don't get any glare coming in from the side. So that was my setup on this particular evening, and as you can see I got some decent shots. We actually had a couple of fishermen that came down and were trying to do a bit of fly fishing. A couple of them were actually quite successful. The light, as I said, wasn't that good on this particular evening, and there was a group of about 9 of us went out from the club. All different levels of from professionals down to real amateurs. I mean, I've been in the club about 10 years now, and I've learned so much. My photography has come on leaps and bounds since I joined a club. So if you're thinking about doing this as a sport, a hobby, then I would find a club local to you, because for me they've been absolutely brilliant. I've also got my neck strap on. I've got one that is quite long, and it's actually one that can lengthen out and it can go across the body as well. So, and the camera then sits nicely on your hip. Sometimes when it goes around your neck, I do find it does pull down because the lens can be a little weighty at times. So as you can see from the photos that we took that particular evening, it was quite successful. I put my Polarising filter on and I set everything up with f8, 1.6 seconds, ISO was 100 with a focal length of 70 millimeters. I then changed onto an ND filter, and again I got some really good shots with that. I don't have that because it was lent to me by one of the club members to try, who has exactly the same lens as me, so that is also one of the benefits of being part of a club. Again, f8, 1.6, ISO 100. Came out really well, and it actually highlighted, as you can see in the picture, it actually highlighted the sky. Really brought some depth to the photo. I was then lucky enough to be able to change, and my colleague lent me an ND 6-stop filter, which I put on so we could do some long exposure. And again, that was set up f8, ISO 100, focal length 70 millimeters, but this time we did an exposure of 4 minutes. And as you'll see from the picture, the fisherman moved, one of them moved, so there's like a ghost in the picture. But again, it got the richness in the sky, the milky white of the water. So that will be on that's on my list as one of my next filters to buy. So yes, I've accumulated my kit over years, and I'm still learning. I'm still learning a lot about photography. My editing's not that good on Photoshop. Again, a work in progress, but I just like getting out there and taking photos. So yeah, the following week we went out and we did some work on reflections, and that will be in my next video once I've downloaded the images. So thanks for watching. If you want any more information about the filters that I used on the evening, they're in the description below, and links to find out more about them are available. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.